Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring the concept of non-parametric hypothesis testing and how it is used in data analysis. Before directly jumping onto the topic of non-parametric hypothesis testing, first of all, let's start with the basics. What is hypothesis testing? In simple terms, hypothesis testing helps us to check if certain beliefs about our data are true or not. For example, let's say we want to know if a new fertilizer in Nepal helps plant grow faster. Without testing it, we wouldn't know if it really helps plant to grow faster or not. We collect data first and then run a test to see if the fertilizer really makes a difference. And now moving on to the types of hypothesis testing. There are two types of hypothesis test: parametric and non-parametric. Parametric test needs the data to follow a normal pattern, while non-parametric tests don't have that requirement, which makes them much more flexible. So we are going to discuss about non-parametric hypothesis test furthermore on this video later. So when should we use a non-parametric test? We use non-parametric tests when the data is small or when our data does not follow the normal distribution. Let's say you collect data from only 10 people, or when your data is biased, meaning it is not evenly spread. That's when non-parametric tests come in handy. For instance, imagine collecting a feedback on a momo recipe. If people rate it from 1 to 5, this is ranked data, not exact measurement. Non-parametric tests work great here because they focus on the ranking, not exact measurement or the order of the data. Now let's talk about some popular non-parametric tests which are already done before. First of all, we have the Mann-Whitney U test. And this test is used when you want to compare two separate groups. For example, let's say you want to check if students from Kathmandu and Pokhara perform differently on math exams. If the exam scores uh, don't follow a normal distribution, you can use this test to compare which group performs better. Next, the Wilcoxon signed rank test. It is used for comparing two related groups or the same group before and after some treatment. Uh, Imagine you want to see if students from Janakpur improve their scores after taking extra math classes. You can use this test to compare their score before and after the classes. Now the third one, Kuskal-Wallis test. For more than two groups, we use this test. If you are comparing the earnings of farmers from Biratnagar, Chitwan, and Butol, there are more than two groups, right? There are three places. There are three groups of earnings from farmers of Biratnagar, Chitwan, and Butol. This test helps if there is a difference in earning across multiple locations. And at last, finally, um, Spearman's rank correlation. This test helped you find relationship between two rank variables. Say you want to know if students who rank high in academic also rank high in sports. You can use this test to see the connection between their school and sports performance.
Hello everyone. Now talking about how non-parametric test works. First of all, non-parametric tests do not use the raw numbers but instead rank the data from smallest to largest. For example, if you are comparing exam scores, you don't use the actual scores but you rank them and compare the ranks. These tests often compare the median instead of mean value. This makes them stronger when there are outliers or strange values in the data. Going towards the advantages and disadvantages, the big advantage of non-parametric test is that you don't need the data to be normal. They work well for small samples or data that is not evenly spread. However, the disadvantage is that they are based on ranks, so they might be less accurate at finding small differences compared to parametric tests that use the actual numbers. Lastly, non-parametric tests are great for situations where traditional parametric tests don't work, like when the data isn't normal or the sample size is small. We have learned about some of the most common non-parametric tests and how to use them. They are useful tools for working with messy data that doesn't follow any typical rules.
Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it.